I'm here in my tent, in my isolated spot here, my own private spot. I've been here for days since Tuesday. It's Saturday morning. Um, just been going through it with um, my girl, and this time it was like another, you know, shell shock. I guess some dude that I know was trying to get at her, and that turned into a thing. I was in Boston, happy, fancy free, sleeping under the church, going about my business during the day on Monday, and then this whole thing hit, and it was such an emotional um, gut punch that I ended up coming out here, and I just really been trying to work through that. So I feel like I've kind of gotten through it. I took some time to get caught up on writing and doing things. So I really love this spot because it's literally like right next to a road. Cars passing by constantly, but I'm isolated and I'm hidden. It's a construction spot, and it's surrounded by water on all sides that abut the road. So there's really only one way in and one way out, technically. Back when there was no foliage, my truck was visible. I repurposed a very old road that came up here. As you can see, the metal that I dug out of the ground where I put my tent right here, there was something here years back, decades, 60 or more years ago. But since the foliage has been here, I've been pretty isolated, pretty secluded. So it gives me time to really think, work. There's my truck right there. Pulls up on a little road here. There's like a road back there. I'll show you. I found this spot after a day of scouting, and the only reason I picked it was because I saw you could pull off on the road a little bit. There was a little pull-off spot, and I saw that it was isolated on the maps, on Google Maps. So the isolation I liked, and then while walking around, I figured out that there was actually an old road that had been built there. They must have done a lot of construction out here years back when building these roads and stuff. I don't know what was out here. Like we passed before, I'll show you. There was a foundation here at some point. You can see some type of building. Somebody had been drinking out here years and years and years back, because I found a lot of old liquor bottles and shit. So yeah, it's just like a old piece of Americana that happens to be mine right now. So I just been out here thinking, writing. I'm gonna head back to Boston on Monday probably. Probably one of like the deepest depressions I've gone into since doing this project, and I think a lot of things come into play with that. I think a lot of it has to do with the end of this project, struggles in my relationship, making decisions. I'm gonna have to find a place to live, probably just rent a room when I'm done with this, go back to work, waiting to hear back about the job. That's gonna be stressful. I'm gonna have to get used to doing that. I think hopefully I get the addiction medicine job. I get to help people with addiction medicine and therapy and working on improving their lives, even homeless people. So yeah, this is my little enclave here. It's hidden, you know. You can see my tent over there. I've just been in the tent for a day. I haven't even come over here. This is one of my favorite spots. My chairs. And as you can see, years back there were some other people that would come here and sit. 2 chairs, maybe 2 of them. Maybe it was the drinkers. Maybe they were drinking here. I don't know. I like to think of it as more romantic, like maybe like a old couple, lifelong lovers. And these chairs have been here so long that this tree just grew up through the chair. And the reason for that is this. So I lucked out on this spot. Maybe it was a divine guiding principle to it. I don't know. But I'm getting ready to wrap up this project. I've been writing, doing some videos, doing some pictures, doing the blog, doing this YouTube. And when I'm done, I'm gonna put together one hell of a book. I remember like the other day I was saying something about, you know, everything's for sale. You know, like I think a big part of this project is the fact that even poverty is for sale. You know, even people that are homeless that really don't contribute to the whole socioeconomic system have a price tag on their head. And you know, I'm not anti-market. I'm just anti-corruption, right? Because if I think, like, I crunched the numbers, I think it came out to about $80,000 per homeless person, probably more. Like this money gets funneled into all these systems, social service systems, addiction services, you know, all the causes of poverty, homelessness, everything else, billions of dollars. And yet, like, the problem just keeps expanding. I think, like, that's my problem. It's waste. It's ineffective. It's corrupt. But for my own, and I want people to understand this, for my own life and livelihood and health and development, when this is done, I don't want to be homeless. I did it for a purpose. I did it for a reason. I learned how to do it. You know, before it's over, I'll succinctly outline how it's done. You know, when you're 2 different environments, you're urban like Boston, and then you're suburban like maybe Lawrence or Lowell or somewhere. It's definitely doable, and you can do it with very, very little resources or money, because the state does provide a lot. The one thing that the state doesn't provide for everybody is shelter. And the state could. The state and all the other funding agents out there that are involved in finding solutions for these problems, there's more than enough resources to house everybody in this state. And I know there's a lot of complaints out there too about, like, the immigration crisis. They call them refugees now. You know, like, you know, something, they want to make something sound worse, they just relabel it. You know, they change the wording, right? Like, they were immigrants, now they're refugees. I know that's not true. I know that a lot of the people that they call refugees could actually go back to their country and continue life as it is. They're not in any type of political harm. Like, they're not going to be executed if they go back. They might be third world countries. Maybe their lives will not be as opportunistic as it would be in America, but it's all a bunch of bullshit. So that's the reality. But on the point of selling shit, you know, I worked hard on this. I'm a firm believer in a free market system, and I experienced it. I learned it. It's been exciting and fun at times, and it's been fucking excruciating other times. So, here I come to the end of this. I had to be creative and resourceful, figure out ways to get the information out there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to put all the information out there. I'm going to put all the numbers. I'm going to dig it all up. And if I can't dig it up, like private funding and things like that, then I'm going to do a search. I'm going to search around and dig, and I'm going to put out estimates so that everybody can know how much resources and money, how much of a price tag a homeless person has on their head, and where that money is going, and is it being spent effectively, or is it just getting gobbled up by greedy, lying, selfish, fake charitable types that get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to sit at a desk and lie to you. And I'm going to sell the shit out of that book. And it's going to be connected to this YouTube, and it's going to be connected to the blog. And people will be able to see a developing story, understand the experience. They'll understand how the state and different social service providers and charitable providers, community providers, addiction providers could do better. And they'll understand their place and things that they can do to do better and understand themselves. Yeah, so I'm going to sell the shit out of it. Because when you work hard and you see something and you understand something that a lot of other people might have a glimpse at but don't understand, and then you expose it, then I feel like you deserve credit, and I feel like I did my due diligence here. So yeah, got like 1 month left. I'm trying to think about anything else I have to say while I'm out here thinking. There was something I wanted to say, and I can't remember exactly what it was. It just evaded me here. And I think it was really on the lines of what we can do and how it impacts us. And what I'll just tie it in is the fact that, the amount of money that goes into supporting people that are struggling in our society, and people that, are stuck living outside because whatever, they're stigmatized by society, they're drug users, they have mental illness, whatever it may be. There's no reason for them to be living outside. There should be enough shelter for there's more than enough for there to be enough shelter for everybody. So, like, the one thing to understand, the one simple takeaway here is there is a human rights violation and acts of cruelty being done on a monumental level right in front of your faces, every one of you. You're being lied to. We're being robbed. People are stealing from us. Not just people stealing, not like, like the pharmaceutical companies or people like that. These are people that come in under the guise of charitable intentions, and then they even do fundraisers and ask for money so they can pay themselves. This is a reality. So, regardless of my work and if I'm successful or not, it doesn't matter, because I've done it with very little. I didn't have to put a lot of expenditure into it. If it's successful, it's successful. If it fails, it fails. It really doesn't matter to me, but the important part is it's the truth. It's not a pretty truth. And sometimes the truth ain't pretty, but it's the truth. And if there's anything that has more value in this world, I think it's the truth. So, that's going to be coming, and I'm excited for that. Excited to get back to my life, to get back to work, to actually live and have a space for myself where I have plumbing and electric and wash my clothes and closet and, you know, a nice bed and whatever else. So I'm going to leave you all with that.